So there we have it. Lots of superset exercises, quads back to hamstrings, quads to hamstrings, a lot of multi-joint exercises, single joint exercises. And the reason I'm doing this video is to show a great variation to get both the quads and the hamstrings trained in one workout. So it's important to get both quads and hamstrings work and isolated in your leg workout. We're going to do this in about 45 minutes workout, so time is of the essence. We're going to keep it sweet, we're going to keep it short, we're going to keep it intense. Let's get to it. Killer combo for our first superset exercise. As you can see, I'm starting on the squat, progressively building up 1, 2, and 3 plates, aiming for 10, pushing 12 reps on this. Now, as you can see from past videos, I'm not aiming for overall strength here. I'm not trying to load on too much weight. I'm focusing more on the depth and the feeling that I'm getting in my quads, actively squeezing, flexing as I push up, keeping my knees from pushing over my toes and really focusing on pushing and sitting my hips down into my heels. Then when I push up, I'm extending through the leg, firmly pushing down on the heel and squeezing the legs, flexing hard up at the top. Simple tips on this one. Inhale as you go down. You want to keep your abdominal nice and tight as that natural kind of weight belt. Sit down into it without pausing too long and then fire up through the quads, exploding up but with control. So a slow and controlled tempo with the squats, keeping the head up, keeping the chest lifted up, and exhaling as I push up, extending through the leg. As soon as I finish my set on there, I'm going to come right over here and do stiff-legged deadlifts. A great exercise to stretch and open up the hamstrings. You can see I have a slight bend in my knee, but I'm not bending the knee as I lower and raise that bar up. So all the hamstrings stretching and lengthening. Simple tips on this one. Try and keep your back straight. Keep your head looking forwards or down, depending on where your back is. Inhale as you stand up with the bar, bringing the shoulders back, hips forward, and squeezing the hamstrings. So really lengthen, stretch the hamstrings at the bottom of that movement. And as you stand up, pulling the shoulders back, hips forward, you can really contract the hamstrings. It's a tough one. It's got me sweating. It's warmed up my legs. 4 sets in total here, including 1 or 2 warm-up sets. Now we can move on and really start to load the weight up with some leg presses and some lying hamstring curls. Let's get to it. Seated leg press first. Nice deep range of motion. It's all about the depth. My knees coming up in the quads. I'm working my glutes on here, the hip flexors and my calves. Slightly changing the angle of my feet from a kind of a standard to slightly outwards, slightly inwards, but not too much. Very small change in my foot position here can actually make quite a big difference in how the quads and the overall feeling in that muscle is with this exercise. Oh, what else on this one? Like I said on other compound movements, a smooth, fluid motion. I'm extending through the leg, actively squeezing that quad, but I'm not locking the leg out. I'm not locking the knee and the leg. There's a slight bend in the knee, which, as you know, helps keep tension firmly on that muscle. So that's a great tip. Don't fully extend the leg, keep the knee soft, but squeeze the leg, and then come straight back into that negative, the eccentric part of the movement. From here, no rest. We're going to walk over to the lying hamstring curl. A little bit high reps on here, 12, maybe even 15 reps because of the machine, because it's more of a single joint movement. And I can really focus on curling the heels up towards my glutes, keeping the quads firmly on that bench, activating my hamstrings. And also, guys, don't forget about the angle of your toes, whether you're pointing them forwards, so your toes pretty much like this, or you're curling them back so that your toes are up towards the shin. It's going to have a big difference on how you feel it in the hamstring and to what extent the gastrocnemius, the calf, is worked. So vary this as well, both on the foot position on the leg press, on the foot plate, and on the toe position, whether you're pushing down or curling up on the hamstring curl. Fantastic combo here, really gets your heart racing. Let's keep things rolling, move on to exercise number 3, outside here in Gold Gym Venice. This has got to be the toughest superset I've done so far in my leg workout. Those walking lunges, fantastic systemic exercise because we're working around the hip. It really is a multi-joint exercise, working practically every muscle on the body. And depending on the gait, the length at which I step, it's focusing more on the quads or the hamstrings. So a longer step forwards, I'm going to activate a little bit more the hamstrings as I stretch down and push back up, and keeping a shorter step, a lot more of the emphasis is on the quads. Glutes are worked on this one a lot, core, my shoulders, and especially my calves, quads, and hamstrings. But that's not even the half of it. As soon as I've done that, over to this tire, or you can a box jump, I'm basically doing some explosive movements, working again my glutes. And let me tell you, I work my body as a whole each week, but never have I felt my glutes worked quite as much as doing these tire jumps or box jumps, going straight back into a lunge. So guys and girls, if you want to focus more on the glutes, get those lunges in, get those squats, but definitely get some jumps in. So this one, I'm trying to feel more explosive. I want to have some quickness, some speed, some spring in my step. So it's all about getting the body moving quickly, which is a real kind of contrast to the slower, controlled walking lunges. And as you can see, I'm not adding any weight to either of these sets. I'm really letting fatigue chase me, catch me up, and push through that barrier. So 3 sets on each, about 20 steps in total on the walking lunges, and then tire or box jumps. I'm really just going for time until I literally can't do any more. It's that time of the week again where I submit my challenge to Sports Freak. Every week these guys ask me to put a time challenge in based on some kind of functional exercise that I'm doing within my workout. And as per usual, I leave the challenge towards the end of my workout, which makes it really easy for you guys to actually beat me on my score. I figured this would be a great exercise to put into our Sports Freak challenge. 30 seconds, how many hops out and in I can do with a turn. 30 seconds, that's my challenge. I'm gonna post it on my profile here on Sports Freak. You guys know what to do. Download it free on the iTunes store. Find me, I'm verified, submit your time, and as always, 30 days from when this video is posted, the first person to beat my score, it shouldn't be hard based on already done 3 supersets of legs. I'll give you guys a prize, give you an ebook, training program or something. I'll post this on my Twitter. All right, man, let's get to it. 30 seconds. My legs are spent already, but we're gonna step up to the challenge and get it done. All right, this challenge, out of all the challenges I've posted on my Sports Freak app, this one has kicked my butt the most, especially after doing lunges, leg extensions, squats as part of my leg workout, which I post on my YouTube channel. This little 30-second clip of explosive jumps, some speed. We got a little bit more motion in there. Struggling to catch my breath. I have no idea how many I did. I'll look back at the footage, I'll count it, I'll post it up. Guys, this should be an easy challenge for you to beat, even if it's an actual box jump. It's the total number of repetitions you complete jumping up and back down. That counts as one. All right, we're gonna move on and finish on the rest of the leg workout here at BuildmuscleGym. Single leg extensions, followed straight after by a seated hamstring curl. Whew. Let's go. Final exercise combo here. For this one, I'm keeping things really simple. Single joint exercise. And for this one, we're going to start with quad again. Single leg extension. The reason I'm doing this is I feel I can focus a little bit more on some bilateral type movements instead of always focusing on two legs or two arms at the same time. One leg at a time, keeping my toes pointed down so I can really accentuate and focus the tension firmly on the quad. So with this one, I'm trying to get my leg fully extended and squeeze, flex, contract the quad throughout that full range of motion, but in particular at the end of that motion. I want to get my leg as straight as I can, really squeeze that quad as much as I can, and then control that bar, the foot bar, back down without allowing the weight to touch or the machine to touch, therefore keeping tension firmly on the muscle for 10, if not 12 reps on each leg. After that, we're going on to the seated hamstring curl. You can see I'm sat very upright on this one. Keep tension again on the hamstrings. A couple of different variations again with my toes, whether I'm going to keep the toes pointed down or held up towards my shin. You're going to feel a very different feeling on the hamstring depending on where you have those feet. This has really kicked my butt. Even though it's only been 4 exercises for quads and 4 for hamstrings, they've been largely systemic exercises working across the joint. So it's not just my quads or just my hamstrings. It's my whole cardiovascular system having been worked. My heart's beating. I'm feeling it in my shoulders from those lunges. My glutes for sure from those tire jumps as well. Quads, calves, hamstrings, everything is being worked. So like I said at the beginning of this video, if you are relatively short on time, or like me now, you're only training legs once a week and you want to combine quads and hamstrings and maybe get some calves in there as well, this really is a great combination exercise to thoroughly work the quads and the hamstrings. Whew. And on that note, we've come to the end of our video workout. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed it. Please do like this video if you find just that one exercise or one piece of information useful. Let me know, like it, comment, subscribe.